It's your room, but you've told me before that you would not put videos of me. I don't want to be on social media at all,
I told
really.
you
I
before,
enjoy coming
Courtney.
here and
I
having the
told you before,
conversations, yeah.
Courtney. What
And yes, you
I
can
told
make
you
the
before,
videos. That particular conversation was first like confusing. I
Courtney.
thought you were joking. Then I
Courtney.
was thinking you were
Courtney,
delusional.
you gotta have to
Why
listen
would you
here. You're
put
gonna have
that
to
on the
listen.
internet? And then,
Courtney.
like, what was the
Courtney.
comment you made? Ha ha, nice
Courtney.
trick.
Courtney.
You don't have
Courtney.
any
Courtney.
tricks.
Courtney. 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 I told you that if you didn't like a video, I'd take it down. And I
Yeah.
did. Just like I said. Now I'm trying to figure out what you actually want next. But you won't
I
tell
don't want
me.
you. I want you
You
to
won't tell
not
me.
talk any more sexual shit to me.
I didn't do that, though. We've already gone through this loop, Courtney. Remember it? I didn't do that. You failed to establish it.
You're
Remember?
wrong.
Yeah,
Yes, you
you like
did.
to when we get to that point, you just throw up your hand and say, "You're wrong." Then I'm just gonna put yeah 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 yeah. Well, I'm sorry,
I
Courtney.
quoted
I'm not gonna
multiple
let you do
things you
that.
said, Eric. I quoted multiple things you said. Regardless of if you think that I was asking for
Courtney,
that.
remember my point? When you said no, you're not coming, I said okay. I dropped it. You kept questioning me to provide you more information about why I wanted you to come to LA. And then you
I
got mad at
thought you
me
were sort of like
for
my
answering your
friend,
questions
Eric. I
honestly.
didn't
Then you
think
got
that
mad at
there
me
was
for
some
answering your
weird
questions honestly.
dynamic
That's
of
the crazy thing. It's like you want me to lie or something. You don't want to encourage people to lie to you,
I
Courtney.
was trying to figure out why you would even
You
ask
aren't a
in
liar
the
lover,
first
are you?
place.
You don't love lying, do you?
No.
Well, then you should appreciate me answering your questions honestly since you asked them.
Yeah, but that's weird, Eric. That was a weird conversation and really kind of uncomfortable.
Courtney, you don't seem to
So
understand.
I just don't want
All
you
of
to
this
talk to me like
protestation
that.
here, Courtney, if we just leave that video alone, it looks like Eric got rejected. Courtney was never interested. Courtney, Eric was kind of crazy to think she might be. With all this objection and protestation right now, any sane person is going to read this as, oh my God, she really wanted to go and she's fucking scrambling to try to cover for
And
that
they
fact.
would be
That's
very
how it
wrong.
plays. I'm not saying that's how it is, woman. I'm not saying that's how it is. I'm saying it's how it plays. Think. Use your fucking brain.
I don't spend all my fucking mental energy as imagining what people
You
think
waste
about
all your
shit,
mental
Eric.
energy on this bullshit, on being wrong stubbornly.
Look, okay, we agree. No more sexual stuff with Courtney. Thank you. That's all I want. That's it.
Okay, Courtney, you can agree not to have any more sexual stuff with Courtney. I never had any, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I never said, oh, Courtney, I suggest you come have sex with me. I said, I suggest you come to Los Angeles to visit me. Whereupon we will naturally, of course, end up having intercourse. Because why do I think that? As I said, well, I think I could be pretty charming. Now, if you don't like that, fine. But if you actually think that the reason you're condemning me so strongly for it is because I did something wrong, you're fucking crazy.
I think that you had a malicious intent to put that video on the internet. Yes, I think it was a perception
It was
management.
instructive to me about how to be post-rejection and to not feel bad about being rejected because I'm reframing shit. It's part of my fucking actualization, woman. For Christ's sakes, get over yourself.
It was malicious and manipulative.
There was nothing malicious or manipulative about it. If it was trying to manipulate you, I would not have put the video up because obviously it pissed you off.
Okay, fine. Maybe it wasn't. That's why I was concerned.
Okay, well, fine. Then maybe if you're just throwing random thoughts around, maybe unicorns are fun. Maybe Mars will land on our heads. Who knows?
I saw the video and I read
you're dumb as a bucket of rocks.
Why would I want to be a part of some video that's malicious?
Oh my God. It's stunning.
It's not going anywhere.
I don't want her to go anywhere.
What are your thoughts?
I want to stick around here fine. I have no problem with Courtney. I
What are your
just
thoughts,
think that
Anna?
she needs to either stop lying to herself or lie to herself more quietly.
I find it quite interesting that you don't want to be in a video and you come in a video.
Well, that's a TI problem, not a TE
And
problem.
also, the more you complain, the worse it looks for you.
I'm trying to say.
I don't know your thoughts, Courtney. I just see how it looks.
What do you think about the video and Eric asking me to come to LA to sleep with him?
Yeah. He puts up videos of everything, not necessarily always considering the impact.
Guilty as charged. I mean, after
Good.
all, I always consider it a good impact if it's transparency that's causing an impact. Because there were some dirty secrets that are being hidden around, probably.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea, but that's applicable in
Why
this
don't you
case. I'm
support your
just saying.
claim, Eric?
I'm just saying, as a general rule, if you don't like transparency, you're probably hiding something. I'm not saying it's true for you. I'm just saying, as a general rule.
I don't really think there was anything wrong with the video. I was reading the comments where you said, yes, this is a nice trick. Assuming, like, an assumption that you had some kind of trick
Did you see what it
going
was
on.
relating to? Not to you. Had nothing to do with you at all.
No, I didn't see what it was relating to.
Well, maybe you should check that before you think it has something. Before you use it for an argument.
Are you, like, playing tricks on everyone in here now or something?
No, and that you don't know what it means though, because you didn't watch it.
I watched it afterwards. I didn't like it.
Okay, well, if you want to find out what he's referring to, click the timestamp that's right there in the comments.
What was he referring to? What was a nice trick?
If you want to know, click the timestamp that's right there in the comment. I'm not going to
Why
tell
can't
you.
you just explain it?
No.
Why? Because it's too malicious and nasty?
No, because I'm not going to reward your intellectual dishonesty.
Eric.
Courtney.
Why? Because you think you were referring to Janelle?
Go watch it and find out.
I did watch it.
Go, what am I referring to?
What's the nice trick before Janelle?
You could already have been there, clicked the timestamp, watched it, and returned.
I already have, Eric. What was the reference?
You want to get me with this one?
In referencing Janelle.
You go check that. You're going to get me with this one for sure. But if you want to get me with
You can't
it,
even
you
answer the
actually have to
question.
look at the
You're
data.
talking about
You actually have to
intellectual
look at the
dishonesty.
data. I'm not going to get it. Sorry.
Courtney, that has nothing to do with you. It's more just they watching him trying to pick up chicks, and it's a nice trick.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
nothing to do with you.
What's the
And
trick?
that nice trick comment, if any comment had ever been defensively projecting the actual opposite truth, it was that comment right there. That was a comment made in weakness, out of a weak position, and it was defensive in nature. But regardless, it doesn't matter, Courtney, because you're missing the point.
No, I understand that I was like irritated. I was irritated and I was angry because I asked you to take the video off and then you got fucking pissy at me on the phone and I just wanted you to take the video down. And then it escalated from there into the argument and the argument got more escalated. It's really simple, Eric. Don't talk about sexual shit with me and don't invite me to come sleep with you. That's all I want.
Courtney, number
That's
one,
it.
I didn't, again, for the millionth fucking time, talk about sexual stuff with you until you insisted on asking me multiple times to explain it.
Yeah, because I was hoping it was something else.
You could have let it go when I let it go, which is before it even touched that threshold of thing. I said, okay. And that was it. It was done. But you wanted to make sure you knew for sure. Well, I was honest with you. Now, you only have two choices here, Courtney.
That I know,
You wanted me to lie to you?
Sleep with you, that I could sleep with you? Do you not think I know that?
Courtney.
What I was wondering was what
Courtney,
was going on in your head.
Nay! You can't ask me a question and then get mad at me for giving you an honest answer.
Okay, fine. I just hope that you don't like misinterpret those
For
that
fuck's
shit.
sake, Courtney, will you shut the fuck up? I've made my point clear. I don't interpret you at all. It wasn't about you. You continuing to fucking argue about it makes it seem like, oh my God, I almost flew out to Los Angeles to sleep with Eric. Oh my God, I was so close to temptation. Even though you're saying the exact opposite, that's what it sounds like to anybody paying attention.
How the hell would that ever sound like that?
Because you never protest very strongly if someone says, the sun sets in the south. You go, no, it doesn't. Right? Because
yeah, maybe I should have been like more aware of like the environment that was going on, but like to me in my head, like I know that's like a fuck no, hell no, never gonna happen. So it like doesn't really matter what people think about it.
Would you like other people to believe you when you say that? I'm gonna help you.
It's not really.
Do you want others to believe you?
Eric. That's the truth of my mind state.
Who the fuck cares?
I'm just letting you know. You're the one who is explaining what
it
it looks like to everyone else.
The opposite. Do you want others to believe your words or the opposite?
What I want right now is not for you to put sexual videos talking to me on the internet.
Again, you need to stop making false accusations. I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
You were the one who insisted the conversation turned to sex when you queried me about it multiple times. When you would not let me drop it. You must take culpability for your own action, woman, if you are ever to actualize it all.
Like, against everything you preach, bullshit. You are such a nasty, contradictory person that I can barely stand it now. Like, I cannot believe you would even throw that as the truth.
There's such a good remedy for you. Because right now what you're saying is, Eric, please make a video of this conversation right here and put it up.
Do you think I really give a flying fuck?
I don't care, Courtney. I'm trying to solve your problem. You keep complaining about something. I'm giving you multiple solutions here. Now, do you have a problem you want me to solve? Or do you just want to sit around and admire your own failure?
Your failure in everything about you, Eric.
Yes, I know that's how you're displaying it.
No, I know that that's who you are, so I don't care what you fucking...
Yes, fine, good. We got your point. Now, what do you actually want to do? Do you want a problem solved or not?
I want you to not have sexual conversations with me anymore.
Courtney!
Can you not do that?
You can tell me to stop throwing bananas at you all you want, but the fact that I'm not throwing bananas at you won't change.
Okay, good. Well, then in the future, you just make sure not to do that.
I won't throw any bananas at you, Courtney, I promise.
Thank you. That would be great. That's all I wanted.
Well, since I've never thrown bananas at you before, and everything's start now.
Okay.
Boy, that is a battle. You can't pan. You don't want to pan on anything.
We're not even talking about the same subject.
What's that?
You're not even talking about the same subject.
She's not talking about anything, as far as I can tell.
Exactly. No, she's trying to make it something it's not or something.
Basically, she's saying, I'm having a feelings reaction to this, and I need to blame you, Eric, because I'm not sure why I'm feeling so strongly. There's not any logical reason for it, but I'm embarrassed, so fuck you. But the thing is, she's not saying the actual arguments, which are, I feel bad and I feel like, Eric, you should take...
You understand fucking English. This is really simple. There's no subtext, Eric. It's really fucking easy. I don't want you to talk sex to me at all, period, like you did in that video. Fucking Can you not understand fucking English?
Stop putting...
I am not embarrassed.
You need to stop putting Christmas hats on me, Courtney. You need to stop.
I feel bad.
You stop putting Christmas hats on me right now. I'm telling you, you are not going to put any more Christmas hats on me.
Why is that so difficult? Why?
How is that not... You not to put any more Christmas hats on me. Agree to it.
Can you not do that
Can
again?
you not
Period.
put any more Christmas hats on my head, please? You need to stop.
No, Eric, it's really easy.
So can you or not? Will you stop putting Christmas hats on my head? How many times do you got to do it before you stop?
When you will tell me, yes, Courtney, I will not do that with you anymore.
Well, why won't you tell me you won't put Christmas hats on my head anymore?
I don't know what the fuck you're referencing, Eric.
I'm saying you need to stop putting Christmas Santa hats on my head. You keep doing it. I'm telling you need to stop doing it. Will you agree to stop doing that? Then I'll agree to stop doing it.
The actual conversation isn't angry.
Will you agree to stop doing it?
Is your reluctance to admit?
Will you agree to stop doing it?
Done and your
Will you agree
reluctance
to stop doing it?
actualize the situation.
Will you agree to stop doing it?
And then your reluctance to say, okay, Courtney, I will not do that.
Will you agree to stop doing it? Will you agree to stop doing it?
So fucking dumb, dude.
I don't understand why you get so upset that I won't agree to stop doing something I'm not doing when you won't agree to stop doing something you're not doing. Okay, so the total, the greatest thing about this is neither one of us is worried about at all being able to have their voice heard on this. That's the beautiful thing about it. That,
well, Eric, your whole thing's upon if her pushing you towards saying why you wanted her to come out is different than you asking her to come out.
It is.
Why?
Because in the former instance where I'm saying you should come visit me, knowing that if she were to come visit me, I'd try to get on her and wanting to make sure she's aware of that component to it, not trying to blindside her when she gets here. You thought I was going to be nice, but I'm going to try to get on you.
Well,
Don't want to do that,
if she didn't push you on it, you would have. If she didn't ask you, she would have. You would have. The thing is, you didn't say openly that was what you were trying to do. Only when she asked you what you were trying to do did you say that. But
in other words, I allowed her to get out of it more gracefully if she wanted to, if she felt uncomfortable. She could just say, no, I'm not coming out there, and that was okay, and we're done. If she wants that. I'm not trying to hide anything. And if she were to give me an indication that she was going to come out here, then I would have made sure it was clear. You know? But the thing is, Mark, the conversation played out as it did because she wanted to know very precisely what I meant. Now, I could have chosen to be dishonest. I could have chosen to defer, not to answer, to say, I'm not going to go into that and maintain mystery. I could have been all TE about shit. I could have been undercover about the whole thing, not put up a video. I could have actually done the steps. Courtney, shut the fuck up. I'm talking to Mark now. I could have done the actual TE steps to accomplish the thing. Instead, I did the alternative. I did discourse about what was happening instead of actually doing the thing itself. And that's the fucking truth of the matter. It just was a flight of fancy to throw it out there. What immediately became much more interesting to me than any prospect of sleeping with Courtney, which was ever really in my head very strongly anyway, was the fact that this discursively was a very fascinating and meaningful event that was important. That Courtney had a lot to learn from it. I had a lot to learn from it. Everybody did.
Yeah, I did have a lot to learn from it. I have to be way more careful about the emotional environments I become a part of, and
Courtney, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear
I pay very close attention to what is being said.
I don't want to hear it.
Sorry, Rick, my phone keeps overheating and shutting down the app.
You say the same things too many times now. You've not made any progress, so I don't want to hear any more of the same thing. You gotta say something new, or that's it. There's no reason to hear you say the same thing 50 fucking times.
I had never said that statement once before, ever.
Repeat it.
Yes, I learned that whenever I get into an uncomfortable emotional situation, I need to be way more aware of what is actually occurring and what is actually being said, and realize that I need to pay attention to
That was
those.
not the lesson to take away from that. The lesson to take away from that
Yes.
is don't take a slightly stubbed toe that hurts for 5 seconds and turn it into a foot amputation. That's what you
No,
did.
Eric, because Jay pointed out to me when I showed him this video that was really bizarre and weird, even the conversation with you, that the public perception would be, oh, well,
Jay's
you know,
perception.
you didn't really seem like you weren't interested. I want you to know that I am not interested, nor was I ever in any actual sense
Courtney,
entertaining that idea with you.
You need to stop trying to convince me you're interested.
So it is insulting to me because I was unaware of that being possibly the perception. That whenever I internalized that idea, I wanted to make very sure and clear to you that that was not the case.
Courtney, remember, basic fucking rule. When you say over and over and over again really strongly that you're not interested in me in the strongest possible language, it convinces people of the opposite.
Eric, you came to my apartment and you were pissed off, emotionally reacting to me in a way
but
that
that
I
proves
did not
my point,
understand.
Courtney. You're right.
In a way
you're
that I had no idea why you were acting or behaving
Courtney,
like that.
I'm
and
not
you
that
told
fucking
me,
guy anymore. And the fact that that guy tried to hit on you and didn't even try to touch you, just tried to talk to you, remember? But the fact that that guy did it is fucking proof positive that you were obviously giving me lots of signals. That's nothing I'm accusing you of this time at all. But you want to conflate the two things as though they were relevant to one another because you are either stupid or so fucking stubborn that you will die clinging to the wrongness that drags you to the bottom of the fucking ocean.
No, Eric, you're wrong, and you're a nasty man.
Okay, well then, you
I hope your daughter has to deal with someone like you in her life.
You're welcome to get away from me in this. It takes slightly bit of effort, just a little click on that.
I want to make sure, though, that you understand why that is wrong. That's disgusting,
Courtney,
Eric.
You've
to sit here and tell me,
any point.
To sit here and insult me,
and say the same fucking stupid shit over and over again. Okay?
To sit here and tell a person
sweetie, you do.
that. What?
I'm sorry, sweetie. You just keep saying the same dumb shit over and over again. It's not helpful.
I just want you to admit, like, you were the. I did not start a sexual conversation with you, Eric.
I know it hurts. I know.
You're fucking pathetic. I hope your fucking daughter has to deal with someone as nasty as you.
You're not going to get what you want unless you're right. Okay.
You're pathetic and sad. Look, it's not hard, Eric. I don't want to have sexual talks with you. Yes, you initiated it.
Will you stop trying to suck my fucking dick? I don't want to have sex with you, for Christ's sakes. Stop it. God, are you going to rape me or what?
You're disgusting.
You have done nothing but talk to me about sex since our conversation this morning. It's like, for Christ's sakes, woman, you can't have my dick. You're in a relationship.
Are you joking right now, or are you?
No,
really
Courtney, you've done nothing but talk to me about sex since that video went up. I'm not talking to you about it. Duh. Jesus Christ.
Good. So you won't talk to me about that ever again. Just say you won't, and that's fine, and I'll stop talking to you about it.
Please stop talking about sex.
I want you to say you will not talk to me like that ever again. Why can't you say that?
I have explained to you, Courtney, I didn't do the thing that you're telling me not to do again. It's what's called a fallacy of many questions. It's like saying, have you stopped beating your wife yet? Well, if you answer yes, that means you used to beat your wife. And if you answer no, that means you still beat your wife. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Except it's fallacious. It's a fallacy. It's a named fallacy called fallacy of many questions. It doesn't prove anything. It proves you don't think well.
I hope a creepy meth head guy who says that the
I'm not
girl,
a meth
that
head,
your
Courtney.
daughter was trying to hit on
Courtney,
him when he
I'm
was
not
trying
a
to be
meth
a
head.
nice member of a community and
Courtney,
like
I'm not
be
a
a
meth
part of
head.
something who
Courtney,
like
I'm not a meth head.
respected first.
Courtney, I'm not a
I
meth
have
head.
to,
Courtney,
to
I'm
go
not a
through
meth
this.
head.
And
Courtney, I'm
then
not a meth
and then
head.
the person
Courtney, I'm
and
not a
then
meth head. Courtney,
and
I'm
then
not a meth head. Courtney, I'm not a meth head. You sound
Adderall is
like
synthetic
don't
meth.
falsely accuse me of
Adderall is
shit. I'm
synthetic
not a
meth.
meth head.
Adderall is synthetic meth.
Courtney, admit it. Say,
When you came to my apartment, you asked me to do meth
Courtney,
with
I'm
you.
not a
Fuck
meth
you.
head. Courtney, I'm not a meth head. Courtney,
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
a meth
You take
head.
Adderall every day, Eric.
Courtney, I'm not a meth head.
Anyways, that she tries to become part of a community like that and invites like the person
Who?
she looks up to and
Who?
thinks is like a good
Who?
person and thinks
Who?
is like the
Who?
one
Who
doing
the
this.
fuck are you talking about, Courtney? You fucking retard. Who? Who are you talking about?
And then I hope that the man
Who are you fucking
totally like
talking
tries
about,
to
you
like hit on her
retard?
and ask her to come sleep with.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I had to kick her. She's mentally retarded as far as I can tell.
I had the same thought.
Well, I mean, like pragmatically, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you said you wouldn't do that again, it would be one thing, and if you do it again, it'd be bad for you anyway.
Well,
So from either standpoint, you're not going to be doing it again, or you're not going to be doing it if you didn't do it before. It doesn't matter. Like pragmatically, it's just not going to happen again.
Right. My point is,
Or you can.
yeah, I'm going to continue not talking to you about sex, Courtney. If you'll stop fucking constantly talking to me about sex.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so I'll continue not talking to you about sex, and you stop talking to me about sex. Good, we're in agreement.
Good. Thank
Okay,
you.
sounds fair. That's a good conclusion. We can all live with that.
What?
I mean, there's got to be a piece missing from someplace up there. I'm pretty sure there's a chunk. I think there's a chunk. It's not a super important chunk, but it's pretty important. It got poked out by a bird when she was little or something.
Oh, come on, Eric.
Mark, did you hear that conversation? She's not responding to anything I'm saying.
I know, but I mean, there's no need to be doing that though.
When you act like that, you are being a menace to society. When you do not respond on point, you are deeply immoral to not respond on point.
Well, Courtney also stepped over a few lines.
Well,
and she's getting defended because she's seen as the weaker part.
I mean, the thing is, she tried to bring up the incident that happened when I went to visit her, where she did everything in her power to convince me, like, does this chick want me to get on her? Oh my God, what the fuck is she doing? And then I didn't even try to touch her. I said to her, I don't understand. I'd like to try to touch you, but it seems obvious you want me to, but are you with Jay or something? Or that's the thing. I mean, fucking shame on you, Eric, for doing that. That's what the fuck happened. So the thing is, she's trying to bring that previous incident up as a way to condemn me, but all it reveals is that last time I was there in presence of her, she gave the most insecure, not assertive guy in the world enough cues to make him think to talk to her about it directly.
But she has made it clear that she's willing to say anything.
Yeah, I mean that was between you guys.
I'm not willing to let her get away with it. You're going to have to be held to account for her actual words. Her problem is she thinks it matters that Jay said, well, you know how that's going to be perceived, right? She needed to have the same argument I was having with her, which is point to a word I said that you can condemn, you know? She needed to hold him to account, but she felt guilty about the whole thing because obviously she wants my dick. So she's like, yeah, let's do the worst possible thing I could possibly do Make that really clear to everybody. I mean, it's stupidity of the highest order.
Digging our own grave.
But it's good drama, and it's good, good for ratings, as they say. I'd like to think so. I hate the fact that I had to take that video down, but I don't know. Courtney will get over it. It'll be fun. Good news, guys. I know you're worried. I'm gonna be fine too.
You're having too much fun with it.
It's fun. That's why she says I'm schizoid. I'm not schizoid. You're just overreacting. It's not because I didn't do anything. That's the thing. That's the fucking thing. If I had actually done something, if I was actually mean to her or teased her or any of the shit that you could accuse me of, then fine. I didn't do shit. Don't give me that look, Susie.
The whole thing is just incredibly stupid.
It's not, the whole thing's not incredibly stupid. The whole idea of it is brilliant. The idea of making a video where I'm getting rejected by this person is just brilliant. It's just that she made me take it down. I put a lot of time into that video. I shouldn't have listened to Taylor. Just like, fuck you, just leave it up there. It's fine. But I did it for Jay mostly. It's like for Jay saying, okay, I feel for Jay. Why do I feel for Jay? Because his woman's not handling this well. He's handling it fine. He seems unthreatened. I seem like I don't give a fuck. She seems like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I just got caught cheating. But she didn't do anything wrong. If she had, I wouldn't have put up a video.
You think she was caught? Do you think she thinks she was caught cheating? I don't think that.
I mean, I
I
don't
didn't
know
get
what
that.
she thinks. I don't think she is responding to it with thinking. I think she's feeling guilty, not being able to tell herself, oh, okay, that feeling's not rational, I should ignore it. I can't often, too. When I have feelings, I can't ignore them either, so it's fine. But I don't persist that long in my wrongness. That's the difference. And I think it has proved to be what I said in the first place, which was extremely instructive. One thing I learned, I should take that shit a little more seriously, probably.
Watch it.
You know, like that kind of stuff. And like put up a video.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, you know, if Courtney had been nice, I would have been like, yeah, I'm probably a little careless there. But she was just not nice.
I know.
I didn't really think it through. I mean, well, that's a nice, harmless way to learn some things about sensitivities. It is. It's a harmless way to learn things about sensitivities.
You person, you.
I mean, no, she didn't cheat or anything. No harm done. All the harm that's been done to her and her relationship has been done by her.
But
And her bad
everything is
reactions.
everything is a social experiment to you.
No, it's not a social experiment. That
Of course it is.
That implies that I'm testing out a hypothesis. It's
Yes,
a
you
social
are.
art project. It's different. It's a social art project.
Oh, when it's art, then everything is okay. Is that the theory?
No, not everything's okay. I just executed this particular piece of art perfectly so that everything was okay and I didn't make any mistakes. That's the difference.
Hey, Courtney.
What's the difference?
I said, no, just because something's a social art project doesn't mean that everything's okay, but it does mean that in this instance everything's okay because in this instance I didn't make any of the mistakes that I'm being accused of. Therefore, I didn't do anything wrong. That's what I was saying. I was perfect in my language. I was very cautious. I didn't know I was being cautious at the time, but I was.
I was saying that everything is a social experiment or something. And now it's a social art project, apparently.
Yeah, it's an art project. And the thing is, it's participatory art. And you are one of the artists who's participating in it, Courtney. That's all. It gets a little moist sometimes. That's okay. We're all friends. My feelings towards you are exactly the same as they've always been, which is, you're cool, I like you. That's it.
Mine aren't.
Yeah, well, I know, Courtney, but you'll get over it. You'll understand that I'm right eventually. I didn't do anything wrong, and that's the bottom line. You know it. Deep down, you know it. I didn't do anything wrong at all.
The video, Eric.
Okay, well, I don't know what else to tell you, Courtney. I didn't do anything wrong. You failed to establish that I have. Now, tonight, in the aftermath of the video, you've done a lot of things wrong, which I'm happy to let go. Just let slide. Because I'm a nice guy. But until you can establish that I did something wrong here, then I'm not going to sit here and listen to you just continually for hours and hours and hours make personal attacks at me and insist on things that aren't true.
I want to get one thing clear with you. I don't like the sexual energy at me.
You're repeating yourself again.
Will you not do that again?
Courtney, we've discussed this multiple times. I did not do what you're accusing me of. What I did do was drop subject before it ever got there. You persisted in questioning me, and I answered your questions honestly. We've gone through this argument chain about 15 times now. I don't want to go through it again.
I want you to understand, Eric, that me being angry at you is not the conclusion of that is not that I actually want to sleep with you.
Courtney, I never said that. I said you're making an FE presentational mistake here. It's perceived as protestist too much. And that's a bad choice in terms of FE perception management. That's what I said to you. You have to respond to what I actually say, not what you feel like I might have said.
I do not care, Eric, about the FE presentation. I want to know that you as an individual understand that I do not want to sleep with you.
Courtney, for the
Can
millionth
you answer my question?
will you stop
Yes,
talking to me
I understand.
about sex? Courtney, you've got to stop talking to me about sex. Please.
Also, there's one last thing. What have I done to you that has made you have the assumption that I wanted to sleep with you?
Courtney, I answered in the video. I'll answer it again for about the 50th time here. I did not assume you had any interest or willingness or desire to sleep with me at all. Do you remember when I said that? Because you've repeated yourself about 50 times. I've said this a 50-time answer, and you've not heard me once yet. Will you hear me this time?
I heard you, Eric. You said previously.
So what did I actually operate under the assumption of? What did I say? What were my actual words?
You said previously tonight that you were so insecure and that
you're changing the subject. We're talking about the video
no
today.
way.
What? Courtney, don't
no
do
way.
this again. Don't do this. I'm trying to get you through this argument chain. It's very fucking simple. Now, stop changing the subject. Listen. What were my actual words? What did I assume? You accused me of assuming things about you 50 times. Now, what were my actual words? What did I actually assume?
Good.
You remember?
So I have not done anything to you to give you the impression that I want to sleep with you.
No! I've said that 50 times! 51 Good. Times now.
Good.
What did I say? Well, my actual assumption, do you remember my words at all?
Yes.
What was my actual assumption?
You stated previously, Eric, tonight that when you came here,
Cornell, change the fucking subject. You're changing the subject. We're talking about in the video today, right? How you said you want to make sure I didn't assume. Why did I assume that you wanted to sleep with me or willing to sleep with me or whatever, right? But that my actual words were in direct contradiction to that. Yes, I said specifically, no, Courtney, I don't assume any intentions from you. I'm not responding to any cues by you. Instead, I assume what? What were the words I said in the video this morning, Courtney?
You said that I am an independent woman who can think for herself, and you think that I appreciate your honesty.
I do think all those things, but that's not what I said in that instance, is it? That's not the words that I said about my assumption. What did I say about what I did assume? Instead of assuming the things you say I assume, what did I actually say I assume instead? Do you remember? It's a critical point. It's the most critical point I want you to learn from this whole thing. Do you remember what I actually said?
I don't know what part you're talking about.
I said I operate under the assumption that all women are available to me until I learn otherwise.
You already knew I was not available.
No. Do you remember ever having a conversation with me in which you told me something along the lines of, oh yeah, Jay and I are still together and we're happy, or something like that? I don't recall a single conversation in which it ever came up at all. Within the past, I don't know how many months. And I haven't seen him around. I had reasons to think that perhaps you guys were on the outs. I didn't know. I was operating from a position of ignorance. Now, Courtney, what assumption was I actually making instead of the ones you keep claiming I'm making? What assumption was I making?
I told you in the middle of the
conversation. What assumption was I making? Repeat my words.
That all women are single, but I'm not.
Available, not single. Makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so why have you persisted in falsely accusing me of assuming shit about you that I never assumed and said I never assumed and told you what I assumed instead?
Did I tell you that I was seeing Jay in the video?
Yes, and how did I respond? What was my response?
You went on and proceeded in the parts that you took out about how it's okay to see other. It's okay to date women who are in relationships and you don't care. If
my response was, "Oh, so you shouldn't come here then." Think about it, woman.
Yeah. The parts that you cut out, yeah.
Courtney, I did not edit that video to look any differently than what it looked unedited, except it moves faster. That's it. I took out all the filler shit. It was repeating the shit we already said. We have a bunch of repetition. Like there is now, Courtney, because you don't seem to understand what words mean.
Yeah, you don't like when the truth is revealed.
Courtney, I love when the truth is revealed. Let's make a video about it right now. I'm fucking Captain Truth. I'm Captain Transparency, remember? Let's put whatever truth you want to reveal out there. But unfortunately, Courtney, your lies aren't going to pass as truth to be revealed. So you're going to have to be honest.
It's not
lies.
lies.
It's difficult for you. Whew. Anyway, I still like you. It's fine. I think you're welcome to come around here anytime you want to. My feelings for you are the same as they've always been, completely unchanged regardless of anything. Which is, I like you. You're cool. I have no problem with you.
Well, now you know that I have a boyfriend. So you can presume and make the assumption that I'm not single. And so you can act accordingly.
Courtney, unfortunately, you no longer meet the minimum criteria for acceptable sleeping partner for me. You don't meet the minimum criteria for a friend with benefit anymore. So no matter how much you talk to me about sex, you're not going to get my dick. Sorry.
I'm just making sure that in your delusional mind you
understand.
Sure
I know what you want, I guess. Well, that's what it's going to be perceived as, Courtney. I keep telling you that. Stop talking to me about sex.
If someone perceives this as me wanting sex from you, that's ridiculous.
Stop talking to me about sex then.
Okay, I will if you will. I don't ever talk to you about sex, you do.
Courtney?
Nor do I.
Many times already. Courtney, as I indicated many times already, the only person who's talked about sex to you today was you eliciting the talk from me because I ended the subject before it ever got there, and you pried and pursued and wanted to know all the special details about it. And you insisted I tell you. I did tell you the truth, remember? Remember we already confirmed you prefer that I not lie to you. Remember? Remember that part of the conversation happened about 5 minutes ago when you confirmed, we agreed, that it was better if I not lie to you but instead tell you the truth about shit. When you asked me direct questions multiple times after I tried to end the conversation.
Can you understand that I knew the implication? And can you understand that the reason I was asking you further was because I was kind of bewildered that you would even assume that would be a possibility. For one, I was already in a relationship.
Fine,
I already stated in the middle of the video I was in a relationship.
Great.
And
those
then
are all
you
good reasons to ask.
went forward
Sure,
with
those are all
it.
good reasons to ask. Yeah, those are all good reasons to ask. And you know what I did? I was really cool. I gave you an honest answer instead of telling you lies. Remember? Remember all the good reasons you had to ask those questions? Well, I had good reasons to tell you an honest answer, too, because I don't like to lie to people.
Good. I just want you to know that I don't appreciate that, and I don't want you to talk to me about that anymore.
You don't appreciate me answering your questions?
I don't appreciate you asking me to fly down to have sex with you.
I didn't ask you to fly down to have sex with me.
Yeah, I did.
No, I didn't. Find it on the video. I never asked you that at all.
I mean, I think everything's pretty much been worked out. Everybody knows.
She keeps coming back and starting in the same fight with me again. I'm not the one talking about this more. She is. I keep telling her that shit.
Just saying. Everybody knows Courtney and me are together now. Nobody's going to talk to Courtney sexually or make those kinds of passes at her or whatever, whether or not. I mean, I'm just saying. Sorry, I'm not trying to blow up. And I mean, what I'm saying is, I think it's all been pretty much worked out.
I agree.
Like,
I mean, I'm very, very clear on what exactly everything means now because Courtney has made me go through it 5, 10, 15 times with her.
Everybody knows now Courtney's not single. You know, nobody's going to try to make conversations about
not
things.
The fucking takeaway from this situation here.
I know.
That should be the obvious thing that Courtney goes, "Oh, I'm not single," and then the conversation is fucking over, and we don't sit here and hammer it to death. What the real takeaway from this should be is somebody in general, any human being, has got to be honest. They cannot come make claims and then ignore what they just said and pretend they didn't say it. They can't insist X and then not X and get called out on the contradiction and ignore what I'm saying to them. They cannot make false claims about what I did or intended when the actual data contradicts them and expect to get away with it. That's the fucking problem here. Courtney, your discourse is fucking awful.
Jay, do you think that Eric was asking me to come sleep with him?
Who the fuck cares about that shit? That shit's pointless. It's just some random thing to pivot around. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is you are fucking insane if you think I'm going to sit here and listen to your fucking nonsense over and over again when I explain to you why it's wrong and you ignore my points. Over and over and over again, you ignore my points. Now, man up. I don't give a fuck about sleeping with you or not sleeping with you. Who the fuck cares? I don't want to sleep with you. For God's sake, no. But, dear Lord, will you please put a fucking brain in your head? Because I cannot stand to listen to one more second of your contradictory, self-indulgent bullshit.
You just stated before that you never asked me to come sleep with you. I'm glad that you admitted to that now, and now we can be.
Courtney, I already explained to you. You no longer meet the minimum criteria for friends with benefits. Sorry, you blew. Now, if you'll stop talking to me about sex entirely, please, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't think there's an issue anymore. I mean, I think it's just been worked out.
I think so too.
At this point, it's just kind of a loop.
Well, Courtney wanted to get yelled at some more, I guess.
I wanted you to admit that you did your action. You just admitted it. Thank you. That's all I needed you to do.
Courtney, you don't get to try to do anything at this point except just try to crawl back in your TI-free hole because you've done nothing but contradict yourself all evening long.
My TI free hole.
Well, wherever you're getting these arguments from, I don't know.
I mean, I watched the video once, and I mean, if a guy asks a girl to fly down, to fly up, I mean, it's kind of like
pretty obvious what he wants, right?
You can't prove it. I mean, but it's safe to assume, like the image just.
Sure. You shouldn't have to answer a bunch of specific questions about yes, Courtney, I want to put my penis in your vagina. You shouldn't have to be that clear, right? It was pretty obvious what I wanted to do. So it was obvious that she just let it drop it or indicate she's got a boyfriend or something like that and it's over. Real quick and easy. You know? Am I going to actually pursue things that seem potential? Yeah. Should I get punished like that for that process? No. Especially when I did nothing wrong. When she said she had a boyfriend, I said, don't come then. When she said she wants to have your kids, I said, well, you definitely shouldn't come then. Those are my actual fucking words. So why am I being punished for doing a perfectly reasonable thing? The only reason is because of insecurity between you two. It has nothing to do with me at all. And it's all on you, Courtney, frankly, because you're the one who's so goddamn defensive about this. You've come back here multiple times to make the same fucking wrong points that I continue to respond to, and you continue to ignore what I say. Sorry, that's how it is.
Yeah, I did understand that I should have been way more firm in that conversation of, like, making sure that you realized those things. But I thought that was already known. And I was, like, kind of bewildered at the fact that the conversation was
even over. You didn't need to do anything. It was over when I said, okay. But you chose to bring it up again and again.
I want to make sure that you understand.
Courtney, my lack of understanding is never the problem when there's a lack of understanding between you and me.
You said just a moment ago that you did not ask me to come sleep with you in California.
I didn't. I said, hey, you should come visit me in California where I will probably sleep with you. It makes a huge difference. I'm informing you of my intentions. I'm saying, hey, you should come visit. I'm not going to try to hide what I'm doing. I'm not going to be like, and I promise not to touch you, and then you get out here, I'm going to try to touch you. No, I'm being honest and upfront about my intentions. Now, instead of responding like a fucking adult and just saying, oh, I got a boyfriend, it's not going to happen, which would be fine, you wouldn't let me drop it. You wouldn't let me gracefully get out of that experience. You insisted on dragging it out and having me detail for you exactly what I meant.
What you did was keep telling me that I was wrong and I was not understanding what was really happening, you fucking creep.
I never told you were wrong about not coming out and sleeping with me. I told you shouldn't come out and sleep with me. I told you were wrong about making about this shit, Courtney.
That's fine.
This is what you're wrong about. I didn't do anything bad. You then
you are lying right now.
I'm making it bad, and that's what is wrong. That's what I said was wrong. I never said that it was bad or wrong for you not to come sleep with me. I said multiple times, those are perfectly good answers. Those are fine, Courtney. The problem here is you seem to think it's wrong for me to even suggest the possibility that if she is more available than I know, I don't know how available she is. If she is, maybe she wants to come out. And if she does, yeah, I'm going to try to get on her. And I should make sure she's aware of that. Okay? Now, Courtney, that's what a single adult male is expected and reasonably can expect himself to do. If you find that so offensive that you spend hours tirading against me, insisting I did something wrong, then you got a fucking problem, woman.
No, what I'm saying is wrong is what you're just now saying, like, everything you just explained is not really what happened tonight.
No, it didn't happen tonight. It happened this morning. A long time ago.
Everything you explained before that is not what happened tonight.
You mean what you did tonight? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You came in and repeated yourself 50 times, and I answered it over and over and over and over again. It's exactly what happened.
I wanted you to admit that that is what you did.
Courtney, I keep telling you. What did you say? Did I do this? Yeah, here's what I will admit, Courtney. As an adult male, not knowing if you were available, Courtney,
It
shut the
doesn't
fuck up and let me answer your
matter.
question. Let me give you your admission. As an adult male, not knowing if you were available or not, I suggested to you that you come out and visit me with the thought of sleeping with you. You said no. You later indicated to me that you had a boyfriend. That's okay. That's totally okay. Everything about that's okay. The only thing that's not okay is the way you're acting right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you make up what happened and then it's not actually the
But
reality.
Courtney, we don't have to make up anything. Remember, I told you to go look at the data and quote me 50 fucking times. I told you this. You have data, actual data. You can quote my words. You can show me a snippet of me doing something bad, but you refuse to do so. You know why? Because you can't find anything because you're wrong.
No.
And incredibly stubborn. All night. Unfortunately, most of this great, that really great yell that I gave there was really in the flow of things. The bot's not on right now. I don't know why not. I'm gonna text Tiffany. And the thing is, like, I'd already decided, oh, Eric, he's fine. Susie's right. Susie was like, don't be spiteful. Because I was like, well, fuck that. She's going to tell me I can't make a video out of our conversation. I'm going to go make one just to be like, fuck you. You don't tell me I can't do what you explicitly came to do, which is make a video for me to make videos out of. Anyway, but I just deferred to, yeah, you're right. Just be nice. There's no reason to be spiteful at all. She's just, she's awash in whatever that is. And, or in two. Are we in two or in one? We're in two.
I already sent the message.
I mean, I'd like to think that.
Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think there at the end that hopefully you got it, right? Like, oh, yeah, Eric didn't do anything wrong. I didn't.
You don't think you did anything wrong when you're missing the entire point.
If I didn't do anything wrong, then why should it have an entire point? It's as quick as, no, I'm not coming. Okay, I actually have a boyfriend too. Okay, my bad. Don't come then.
Yeah,
It's that quick and easy, Courtney. Hey, don't try to get out of this culpability. Do not. It should be that quick and easy. And
not the
you
point.
are the only one who's making this into a big deal.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
What's the point then, Courtney?
The point is, first of all, that I didn't understand why you would have any implications that I was not single and that I would.
I didn't know, Courtney. I didn't have a conclusion either way. I found out today.
So I entertained this conversation of a man who Jay is not insecure about.
It. Remember, you didn't entertain it. You persisted in it intentionally by asking me questions over and over again.
Because I did not understand what you were doing. Like, why would you should know better.
Okay, so you had a conversation. It could have been quick and easy, but you persisted and made it a lot longer. Now, what's your problem? Go ahead.
Yeah, you should have known better. So what is the implication?
Wait, hold on. Remember, I'm a single man who tossed out a possibility for a relationship between consenting adults to somebody not knowing her state of availability. There's nothing wrong with that. Are you telling me I'm not allowed to do that?
No, Eric, you're very allowed to do that. But the way that I understood our relationship was not
Courtney,
that.
I clarified that. I answered that in the video too. It's because you think we have a relationship that is necessarily defined by your understanding of it. But instead, we're both real adult human beings. So in other words, we both get to do things that are okay to do. So it's okay for me to do what I did, so I get to do it. Now, it's not okay for you to come sleep with me because you're in a relationship, so you don't get to do that. But what you definitely don't get to do is condemn me for doing shit I do get to do.
I'm not condemning you, Eric.
Yeah, you are.
The thing that I'm condemning is
what are you condemning?
Insulting, nasty, degrading remarks at me without admitting that you actually did invite me to come sleep with you.
Only you. Are you telling me? You're the only one who's been insulting and degrading. You've told me that it's deplorable, degrading, offensive. Every word you come up with to even dream of ever touching me. So, I mean, you've decided, you've tried to pile on as much personal attack as you can, even though I didn't do anything wrong. Now, if I were a vulnerable man, I assume you'd treat me differently. I assume you wouldn't abuse me in this fashion. But the fact is, only one of us has engaged in actual bad behavior, and it's you. You've engaged in awful behavior. I can put together a clips video from tonight of hearing you just an endless string of insults of me, none of which have any substantive point.
Well, as if you have
hey, shut up, insulty.
In the room.
Shut up. You spent all evening insulting me for no fucking purpose. Now, own it. Right now?
As if you haven't insulted everyone in the room before, too.
I don't insult people. I prove them wrong. There's a big fucking difference. I've insulted you tonight because you have been launching an endless series of personal attacks, and the insults I've been using against you are stupid and retarded because you've been saying stupid, retarded shit.
You're missing the point.
You keep saying that, but you don't have a point. Your point is you're mad and I should be blamed somehow, but you're wrong.
I was under the understanding that me and you had a conversation when we were friends, and that was how it was. Whenever that conversation happened,
well, am I not allowed to see if Courtney might want to consider sleeping with me? Maybe she's single now. Maybe she considers changing the relationship, making it more intimate. Am I not allowed to even consider that about you? Am I so awful and offensive that even thinking about that possibly I might be able to get on Courtney is degrading to you, which is what you've told me?
That wasn't degrading to me.
That's what you told me.
What was degrading to me is the fact that when I brought this up, you attacked everything I was saying. You wouldn't admit that you.
So did I degrade you with the sexual stuff or not? What did I degrade you with, Courtney? What did I do that was degrading to you?
The degrading part comes whenever I think about what was said about you thinking me wanting to get this straight with you is just me. The perception that's getting projected is that I am actually wanting to come sleep with you.
That's not my opinion.
That's degrading to me in a way.
That's not my opinion, Courtney.
It's degrading to me because
it's not my opinion.
It implies.
It's not my opinion. It doesn't matter what it implies.
Then you don't believe what you say.
No, what I'm saying is other people will perceive it like this. Not that I perceive it like that. Can you tell the difference between those two sentences?
Okay.
Other people will perceive it like this because you're making a bad strategic move, Courtney, is not saying I think their misperceptions are correct. God!
Okay, good. That's better then.
It's as though I changed what I've been saying the whole time. I've been repeating myself all fucking night, woman.
Okay, can I make another statement without you screaming and interrupting it?
Will you not repeat yourself?
Earlier, you made a point about whenever you came to visit me that I had given you so many clues and you were so insecure that there is no way that you would have acted on that in the way that you did if it was not valid. Later, you faxed that statement whenever Jay was saying something about it.
You were right. I was an asshole. I shouldn't have done that. My bad. I can see everything about it. It's irrelevant to what actually we're talking about today. You want to make it relevant, but it's not, so I'm just going to concede it all. Whatever you want to make out of that meaning, fine. It's not relevant to this one, though. You can't link it.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now at this point is I am trying to make sure that we have an understanding with no subtextual things.
That's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing, Courtney. I've already made it clear to you, you are not allowed to sleep with me. You no longer meet the minimum criteria for friends with benefits. Okay? You cannot sleep with me. Stop talking about sex.
I want you to know that I have never intentionally given you an
I don't
implication
give a
that I
fuck.
wanted that,
I
or
don't give a
anything
fuck,
in that
Courtney. It
regard.
doesn't matter.
It matters to me
I
because I'm
specifically
in a
told you today I
relationship.
wasn't reacting to you giving me some fucking sign. I've said it this morning. I said it 50 times since. I'm saying it again for some reason. Are you deaf or are you stupid? Those are the only two possible answers. I have explained the fucking answer to this to you over and over and over again. You have no response to it, and yet you continue to repeat your same bullshit.
So then we understand each other. Right?
Courtney, I'm pretty sure you don't understand anything at all about anything. As far as I can tell, I mean, words have meanings, you know. They mean specific things and don't mean other things.
What I'm doing is making it real fucking easy, Eric.
No, you're definitely not doing that, Courtney. Easy would be
Yes.
clicking the X.
Why is it
I've already
fascinating?
told you you can't sleep with me. So if you're worried about whether or not I'm going to try to sleep with you, well, obviously you're not allowed to sleep with me, so I'm not going to try to sleep with you.
The reason this is meaningful is because this has happened before and I thought we overcame that and now it's happened again.
No, but see, Courtney, remember, I said I conceded only given the fact that you can't link it. Because, as I've explained to you, not responded to again, you've ignored it again, Courtney, you've ignored it again, is that I was an entirely different person and I was reacting to a whole different set of stimuli. Since you didn't stick with your agreement, I'm not going to stick with mine. I'm back to making the point that actually, Courtney, that shit makes you look bad because it is in fact the case. You proving my point that when I was there in person, you successfully got me cued to do something. And that's very different than what happened today. Very different, Courtney. Different, not the same. Because back then, we're talking about cues, and today I specifically told you, explicitly told you, no, Courtney, I am not being cued by you. Do you remember what the assumption was from, Courtney? What was the assumption I was actually making, sweetie? Do you remember? Or is your retardation acting up again?
I just want you to know that the first
Courtney,
time,
you don't just
Eric,
want me to know anything. You just want to keep
there
blabbering
was
on
no
your fucking bullshit. Now,
implication
shut
the
the
first
fuck
time
up, for
either,
Christ's sake. You
Eric.
can't do anything but repeat yourself, then shut the fuck up.
There wasn't any implication the first time either, so I was making sure that that wasn't the case this time as well.
Well, the first time you definitely wanted my dick, but you didn't want it, actually. I don't know what you were doing. Or at least you definitely showed me
I
that.
did not
Now,
ever
look,
even
Courtney, hey!
any
Now, you may
reason to
just
think
be
that.
that fucking stupid that you do things that obviously mean X, and you don't mean X. That's fine. I could have misread it. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. But what does matter, Courtney, is that I made no such assumptions about you today. Zero such assumptions. And I told you that 50 times, and you ignored it and pretended like I didn't say that. You've been lying all fucking night and engaging in personal attacks. You are a worthless fucking lying sack of shit. So, enough, okay? You've finally annoyed me sufficiently to tell you the truth. All your words are lies, and your thinking is a pile of dog shit on the bottom of a cesspool at the bottom end of the dump underneath a bunch of fucking toxic shit. It's worthless. You have no ability to think or engage in discourse. And as if I could give a fuck about getting on you at all, I don't care. I probably would have just been like, yeah, okay, blowing you off if you said yes. The point is, you can't be this wrong for this long without getting shamed for it.
I never gave you any reason to think I wanted to sleep with you. End of story.
Certainly not since the visit you haven't. I agree. And that's why I said today too. The funny thing, Courtney, is you're the one who brought up the fact that in a previous visit you had given me cues, and so therefore that somehow proved that this time I was thinking you were giving me cues. But the fact that this time I was saying explicitly I'm not picking up cues from you is only proof that in fact the first time I was picking up cues from you. You fucking retard.
No, that's completely wrong.
Yeah, I know you want it to be, sweetie. I know you want that, but wanting things doesn't make them so. You have to use
I never gave you
words
cues the
and
first time.
thinking
The
and
reason I was
logic.
concerned this time was
Big
because
things
you
like
so
that to
adamantly
point
believed
things.
that I was last
Big girl
time that
things
I was
like
making
logic
sure
and
that that is not the
words.
case.
Yes, you use big girl things
Assuming
like
that
logic
I
and
wanted
words,
to
okay,
sleep with
Courtney?
you then would give me ample reason to be concerned about you possibly
You got ample
misinterpreting
reason to be
something I done
concerned,
this
girl. You
time as
got ample
well.
reason to be concerned. You were born without a brain, and I'm surprised you're walking around talking to people. It's actually a medical miracle. You need to be very proud of yourself. You're a prodigy. For a brainless human being, you're remarkably human-like.
I'm way smarter than you. You don't even actually understand what you're talking about.
I know, Courtney. I know you don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? No, you don't understand. Mm-hmm. How do you like that? Looks like I'm winning the argument. Am I being accused of having a giant outrage? No, Courtney, I didn't have a giant outrage when I visited. It was the same problem, though, except that time you were less stubborn. You conceded my points. This is something you've not responded to either. I've said multiple times, but Courtney, back then you agreed with me. And you did. But you don't want to mention that fact, huh? You don't want to talk about that? You remember when you agreed? I have the text, woman. I have the text on my phone. I can pull that shit up and prove you wrong. You want me to do that? Don't lie. I'm not. Is that what you want? A lot more quiet now, huh? Will you stop talking about that one time 6 months ago when I thought you were giving me cues? Maybe because I was wrong, or maybe because you were. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to what we're talking about today. Can you stop talking about that? Because that just makes you look bad. Because either you were giving me cues or you weren't. Either way, we know that I was a wreck back then. I didn't know anything about women, and I was really insecure, and so I could easily have been the one who fucked up. I was very clumsy, and gosh, I mean, I appreciate your kindness to me in the aftermath of that, Courtney, because I was so scared. I didn't know anything about women. Yeah. Okay, fine. Now, it's not relevant to what we're talking about, okay? So you keep changing the subject to what makes you look bad, namely a previous time when I thought you were cueing me to have sex, to prove that this time, when I explicitly say I didn't think you were cueing me at all, that I should be blamed for thinking you were cueing me. Well, that's called not using your brain. Okay, sweetie? That's not going to work. I won't let you do those kind of self-hate. It's self-hate is what it is. Or refusal to be honest with oneself. And the reason I'm not going to let you do it is because we can't prove decisively one way or the other whether or not you were cueing me. And I've conceded that I misread those cues for the sake of argument. Now, given that I misread those cues once, you're trying to say that therefore you were justified in continuing to ask me questions to make sure I understood. But earlier tonight, at the beginning of it, you said you weren't even listening. You weren't listening at all. You had no idea what was going on. Remember? So which was it, Courtney? Were you lying then or you lying now? Which time were you lying, Courtney? Which time were you lying? Which of those two times were you lying? Because they're in direct contradiction to each other. Earlier you told me you weren't really listening at all. And then right now you said, a little while ago you said, oh, you definitely were listening. And you wanted to make sure that I understood because you could tell that I wasn't quite understanding something. So were you lying then or are you lying now? Which time were you lying? Which time were you lying? Which time were you lying? I have acknowledged that I asked you to. I acknowledged that I went there and I said, hey, I'm going to try to touch you now, but I'm confused because you give me a lot of cues, but I thought you were with Jay, and I'm not sure what's going on. I admitted all of that immediately. I'm immediately transparent, admit everything. And then another reason why we can probably believe me on the cues, not necessarily. Again, it's irrelevant because the fact that I was acting off of your cues was indicative of the fact that that was a very unconfident individual back then who had a lot of issues with women and sex and stuff. So it's natural that I might have made that kind of mistake. For you to try to link it to what happened today is dishonesty of the worst sort. They're not linked at all. What I did today was a good thing, a noble deed. What you are engaged in right now is a self-defeating and self-harm. It's kind of like cutting yourself because you feel you don't know how to deal with the introverted feelings, I guess. I don't know what they are. It could be guilt, it could be lust for me or something. I don't know. But regardless, Courtney, the one thing I want to make sure you take away from this is you no longer meet my minimum criteria for friends with benefits. So you cannot have sexual intercourse with me, no matter what. So stop talking about it with me, okay? Now, the other thing I want to make sure you take away from this is that I did nothing wrong today. I did what I was supposed to do. Jay reacted as he was supposed to react. You have done a very, very poor job of acting like an adult regarding this. Because, again, as we've already agreed many, many times, I didn't do anything wrong. Despite your obvious feeling that you do, you didn't either. So, I hope what you take away from this is the knowledge that we all sometimes act out for FI reasons, shit that doesn't make any sense at all. I did this just the other day with Taylor. I was all mad at Taylor for no good reason, blah, blah, blah. But the difference is, Courtney, being an adult means going, Taylor, I'm sorry about the other day when I was all mad at you. That was my bad. I was temporarily insane. And that was the end of it, because I'm able to be honest. We all make mistakes, Courtney. But dishonesty always makes the mistakes worse. So I don't feel like I made any kind of mistake today at all. I learned things that were helpful to me. I learned you were definitely in a relationship with Jay and was serious. I learned that I learned a lot about how to engage in that process if I do it again more seriously at some point. I was serious, like, yeah, I'd sleep with Courtney, of course. But it was something I'd been considering. I've been thinking, like, I should try to get somebody to fly out here. Maybe, and you were on a list of a couple people where I thought of possibilities. It is perfectly okay, everything I did. No doubt about it. No disputing that. I suggest you come visit me. I kept you informed, let you know what I would expect. You said no. I said okay. Now, stop trying to link back. Stop trying to link back to this previous experience. It's irrelevant. What we do know is that
it's not irrelevant.
You weren't listening. Remember, you weren't listening, so you didn't know what was going on, right?
Eric, can I speak and just say exactly the reality of what's going on here? From my perspective?
But see, Courtney, I don't want to hear from your perspective. I want you to hear from
I am not concerned about
what makes sense, though. Sensible. Not just from your perspective, not just your feelings, what makes sense, okay? Be logical. Go.
This is exactly what is going on here. And you cannot interrupt me, and I don't want you to talk over me, and I don't want you to call me names and degrade me and try to, sway your point further. Okay, whenever you came to visit me, I have previous experiences with you in which you viciously accused me and condemned me as a human being in a value way because you assumed in your mind that I had tricked you into believing that I was wanting to sleep with you. And in my perspective, Eric, my complete understanding of our interactions and our situation in that point in time.
Use words right, though. But still use words right, though. Okay. So I didn't assume. I concluded. They're different terms. They mean different things. Go ahead.
Okay. In that particular situation, you for a few days
No,
accused me
one.
of being a
One day, Courtney.
nasty,
The next
malicious
day.
woman. You accused me of leading you on. You accused me of, you sent me multiple texts asking me why I would do something like that to you.
Don't lie, though.
In
okay?
my mind.
Now, hold on. Let me clarify, because you didn't say where you're right and where you're wrong. I did send you multiple texts, and you sent me multiple texts, back and forth, and we talked on the phone. You called me. I didn't call you. You called me after I texted you, and we talked on the phone for quite some time. Now, it is true that for the day after, we did have those conversations. But what you actually experienced in those conversations with me, and you knew it then, and I'm admitting to it now, is that you saw a man who had hurt feelings, who was wounded, just as I'm seeing somebody right now who's operating out of hurt feelings. I agree. My points then, and holding you account for that, were not rational or fair. I'm not trying to defend my behavior then in the aftermath of it. I still believe, despite having said all that, I still believe my interpretation then was correct, but I am willing to concede the point. Now, most important thing to remember is that you are being dishonest when you say that you experienced something bad from me then that was condemnation or something like that. Not true. I was hurt. I was displaying that to you. You are misrepresenting it as, hold the fuck on. You're misrepresenting it as an attack on you. Now, again, and most importantly though, that individual instance there is not at all related. And you know it too. So you're being dishonest again. You know it's not related, because what was my key point today was that I wasn't doing what I was doing based on anything at all that you did, said, or indicated. I have said that to you 100 times. You keep going back to this time before when I did conclude that. But you know,
you are not letting me finish talking. You are not letting me finish explaining something to you. The way I viewed your reaction
without lies, then.
Situation, I can only tell you my own analysis of the situation. I had a person who I'd become friends with, and I thought that was cool and fun, and it was fun. Come to me, and after they left, if it's true that you were not the same person and you were experiencing some irrational states of mind, that's fine. I get that.
Irrational states of mind?
But you cannot blame me, Eric, for
I'm not
entertaining the conversation today in a way that I was trying to understand if that.
I'm not blaming you, Courtney. You're blaming me, you fucking idiot.
I'm not saying it's wrong to be a single man and hit on women. No.
Then what are you blaming me for?
That isn't the point.
Then what are you blaming me for? Then what are you condemning me for?
The reason I wanted to go about this in such a way as to, like, because back then, Eric,
why are you condemning me for today, Courtney? Not back then. Why are you condemning me for today? Answer the question.
You can understand why that's relevant to me.
What am I being condemned for? What did I do wrong?
I didn't say you did anything wrong,
Then why did you spend all night personally attacking me?
Because the point I'm trying to make so that I avoid a situation.
So you're doing something wrong then, right? I didn't do anything wrong. You're personally attacking me. You're doing something wrong, right? Or not?
Can I finish talking?
You've already said all we need to know. I did nothing wrong, and you're personally attacking me.
I just want you to understand why this has happened today.
I understand everything, Courtney. I don't need your explanation. It's always wrong.
No, I wanted to make sure in the conversation here, I got the sense that you might have in some way, without my knowledge, completely blinded by me, without my knowledge once again, perceived in some way that I wanted to sleep with you. I wanted to make sure that that was not the case. And then you went about throughout the entire argument tonight.
12 hours ago.
You kept making points. You kept making points tonight how me wanting to drive that home to you.
Stop lying. You were sure, Courtney, I have said to you 50 times you are not allowed to sleep with me. So you can't keep saying that you want me to understand that I can't sleep with you when I'm telling you, you are forbidden from sleeping with me.
I just don't understand, like why it's not that it's like so difficult to just.
There's nothing difficult, Courtney. It's very simple. You're right. I did nothing wrong. you're doing a bunch of fucked up shit tonight, attacking me for no reason. That's the bottom line. That's it. That's all there is to it.
I mean, yeah, possibly. I just want to make sure that you don't have that misconception.
No, Courtney, you don't want to make that sure. Because I've already told you, you're forbidden from believing
that
me.
was
So there's
really
nothing
weird,
more sure than that.
really
I forbid
and
you.
Fucking weird and bizarre,
There's
dude.
nothing more sure than
clear.
that, though, Courtney. There's nothing more sure than I forbid you from sleeping with me. You are not allowed to. Now, that's as sure as it can get. So don't tell me you want to make sure I understand something, okay? I need to make sure you understand that.
More like
you obviously don't.
Eric. Not what your persona is showing everyone right now. In your mind, I want to make sure.
Courtney, if you're not talking about real things, then shut the fuck up.
It's the truth.
She left.
Whew. That was super fun.
Fun? You were super angry.
What?
You were kinda upset.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was being so fucking stubbornly dumb. It's hard to believe. But she was not trolling. That is not trolling.
I know. I've seen it before, but not to this extent. It's all recorded.
Yeah. For some of the time when the bot wasn't in here, I've been recording here too. So I got the last hour and a half of this.